And you are a doctor who can talk to animals. That's who you are.
That is not who I am.
Stop lying to yourself.
Didn't I tell you to get out of here? Get out of here! Go! Get out of here! Get out of here!
You probably remember Dr. Dolittle as a goofy family comedy. Talking animals, silly jokes, Eddie Murphy arguing with a hamster. It's all simple, right? Well, not even close. Behind all of those laughing animals was one of the most chaotic productions of the 1990s. The entire movie was practically rewritten around Eddie Murphy's improv. Scenes were rebuilt in post-production. Months of voice recording reshaped entire conversations. Real tigers stood in for the close-ups, and at one point, up to 45 trainers were on set at one time. If this shocks you, then get ready, because these 15 crazy facts about Dr. Dolittle are what many viewers are not aware of yet. Number 15. The movie was basically rewritten around Eddie Murphy. Officially, the movie was credited to screenwriters Larry Levin and Nat Malden, but it was practically remade to fit Eddie Murphy's comedic flair. Before working on the film, Eddie Murphy had already proven himself as a Hollywood superstar through some iconic roles. In Beverly Hills Cop, he played the fast-talking Detroit detective Axel Foley, a character that brought action and comedy together. Only a few years later, in Coming to America, he showcased his versatility by playing multiple characters, including Prince Akeem, Clarence, Randy Watson, and Saul. Regarding Dr. Dolittle, forget about a simple adaptation of Hugh Lofting's classic books. This film was a wild comedy train that was speeding straight through Murphy's hilarious universe. From fast-talking jokes to outrageous gags, every scene was edited to showcase his signature humor. Murphy's charisma was so unstoppable that it reshaped the entire movie, turning it into an Eddie Murphy comedy with a side of talking animals. It wasn't a family-friendly comedy anymore. Now it was Murphy-centered chaos, where even the animals were a springboard for his genius improv. Number 14. Eddie Murphy recorded hundreds of alternate joke takes. When Eddie Murphy stepped onto the set, he was creating chaos, comedy, and pure genius.
It's a false alarm.
A false alarm!
There's nothing wrong with him. He just has gas.
Whoa, you're telling me?
Acting is a small word for him. Murphy's improv skills went into overdrive as he worked with animatronic and CGI animals. The creatures didn't talk during filming, and that meant that Murphy had to respond to placeholder tracks or even silence. Instead of holding back, he used it as an opportunity to experiment. He tried countless jokes, testing different punchlines, rhythms, and tones, and he recorded hundreds of alternate takes, each one packed with a fresh twist or an unexpected delivery.
Hey, Daddy, we still got those BB guns I used to play with when I was little?
Crazy man!
BB gun?
Psycho!
Son, I think you need a vacation.
His ability to keep experimenting ensured editors had endless options to work with. This improv freedom is why the movie exploded with his signature humor, and if they had played it safe, many of the comedy moments in the movie may never have existed.
Eye of the Tiger, because of that song. It moved him inside. Not Eye of the Moose, not Eye of the Bull, Eye of the Tiger.
Number 13. Most animal mouth movements were early CGI and mechanical rigs. One of the biggest challenges was making the real animals talk, and the way they did it was amazing. Filmmakers used different methods to make it happen, combining early CGI, 2D mouth effects, and even animatronic stand-ins. For the talking scenes, they filmed real animals first, and then changed their mouths frame by frame with something called 2D image warping. This made the animals look as though they were really moving their mouths to form words.
He's deaf.
I'm not deaf. I just can't stand listening to her.
You don't?
The team also created animatronic doubles for some animals, like Lucky the dog and the tiger, allowing puppeteers to control their facial movements during filming.
Shut up. You're a dog. Dogs can't talk.
What the hell do you think barking is, an involuntary spasm?
I don't know what barking is. I know you're not barking, and I'm going to be with my family. Excuse me. Good luck to you.
And when close-ups called for extra detail, that's when they used 3D CGI overlays in order to make the characters, like the orangutan, seem even more lifelike without ever tipping into cartoony territory. Number 12. The animals required more production days than the human cast. It's crazy when you realize how much work went into filming with animals. Trainers had to use hand signals, unique sounds, and tasty rewards in order to get the perfect behavior on camera. And in some cases, there were up to 45 trainers on set at one time, all working together in order to manage the animals safely and ensure everything went smoothly. For scenes where predator and prey had to interact, those were filmed completely separate. They used blue screens and editing magic to combine footage later because obviously you can't ask a tiger and a rabbit to play nice on cue.
I'm a train wreck. I have headaches, nausea. The worst thing is this double vision. What's the use?
Since you can't tell animals to stick to a script, the crew often had to wait for a single usable shot. It's like working with a huge group of unpredictable and untrained actors, but instead of going home after set wraps, they lived on the movie set. Number 11. The hamster scene nearly didn't work. Remember the hilarious scenes with Rodney the hamster, voiced by Chris Rock? They almost didn't happen because filming with a real hamster was not as cute and easy as it looked. Think about this. The crew spent hours trying to get a tiny hamster to hit marks or do one single action on cue. But Rodney wasn't always in the mood. Sometimes he would miss the spot, get distracted by lights, or stare at the camera as though, "You're kidding me, right?"
Shut up! I can hear you up there! Shut up!
Come on, Doc. I'm getting whipped up here.
The team had to pause everything, reset the scene, and hope for the best. And when the hamster couldn't deliver, they whipped out an animatronic double or used editing magic to make it seem like Rodney was nailing it. If there's one thing that Rodney taught us all, it's that even the most adorable and seemingly easy animals can present a challenge on set. Number 10. The film was originally much darker. Considering how the movie was written and marketed, it's wild to imagine that the 1998 version could have been something much darker. The final movie that we know is a comedy-filled ride of slapstick moments and talking animals stealing the show, but that's exactly what the script was going for from day one. Fun for the whole family. But here's where it gets crazy. Rumors and clues would suggest that early drafts and leftover footage might have taken the story in a more serious or dramatic direction. Deleted scenes, extended takes, hidden edits in the TV versions, they're like little breadcrumbs that tease what the movie might have been. It's as though there were an alternate version of Dr. Dolittle out there just waiting to be found. Maybe even a dark take on the story or a more poignant exploration of inner turmoil and redemption. Number 9. The studio feared it would be compared to the Nutty Professor. Because of the connection between Dr. Dolittle and the Nutty Professor was impossible to ignore, it added a whole new layer of tension around the film. Eddie Murphy, fresh off his massive success on the Nutty Professor, was expected to deliver another comedy masterpiece. Both of the films had Murphy cracking jokes with his unmistakable charm and humor that all the fans loved. But when Dr. Dolittle hit the theaters, the comparison started, and they were not pretty. Critics didn't hold back, saying the comedy lacked the sharpness and punch of the Nutty Professor, and some even dismissed it as a lightweight, watered-down version. The pressure to match the brilliance of the Nutty Professor loomed heavily over Dr. Dolittle, and it shaped how people saw it, talked about it, and even how it was marketed. Number 8. The tiger was real in some shots. The character of Jake the Tiger, who grabs your heart in the story, was actually brought to life using a mind-blowing mixture of reality and movie magic. Believe it or not, a real live tiger was used for some of the scenes. Those times when Jake is walking around, pacing and gazing with those intense tiger eyes, well, it's a real cat. But here's where it gets even crazier. For the more intense moments, like dramatic surgery, Jake wasn't live. Instead, they used an insanely lifelike animatronic crafted by the legendary team at Jim Henson's Creature Workshop. It moved so realistically that most people couldn't even tell the difference. Number 7. Fox demanded stronger kid humor. The studio behind the film reportedly pushed for a lot of kid-friendly humor, and that meant loading it up with broad jokes, slapstick moments, and tons of silly, gross-out gags. Imagine watching animals crack jokes about butts or silly toilet humor. Many would call it a choice, but it was actually a strategy. Critics noticed how the movie really focused on silly jokes, making it seem more like a comedy just for kids instead of something the whole family could enjoy. Even though there were famous actors, the jokes were clearly made to get the preteens laughing. Some say that even more goofy or gross jokes were added during rewrites just to keep it fun and exciting for the younger viewers. Number 6. ADR Sessions lasted months. Over 20 animal characters, each with their own personality and voice, sang lines that had to match perfectly with their animated mouth movements. Voice actors like Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock didn't just show up, record a few lines, and call it a day. The process was so much more complex than that. Months of automated dialogue replacement, or ADR, were needed to refine every single line, ensuring the jokes landed perfectly and the timing felt natural. The actors had to return to the studio again and again just to adjust and tweak their recordings, syncing their voices with intricate animal animations. For visuals this detailed, every interaction required multiple takes, director approvals, and constant revisions. Just imagine the patience and precision that it took to make each scene feel so smooth.
Ask him what he does all day. Go ahead, ask him.
I sit in a tree by myself.
It's because he's too good to eat with the rest of us when the old people feed us in the park.
Number 5. Animal reactions were often edited from unrelated footage. You can't give a script to an animal and expect them to nail the perfect reaction on cue. It just doesn't work that way. Instead, the filmmakers had to pull off some wild editing magic. They didn't rely on one flawless take for an animal's reaction. In fact, most of the time, what you see on screen is actually made up of a bunch of unrelated clips. Think about it like this: a head tilt from one scene, a curious look from another, and maybe even an open mouth from a third, all put together in editing to make it seem like the animal's reacting perfectly to what's going on. That's not all, though. The special effects teams used digital tools like 3D muzzle replacements and other tweaks in order to make the animals look like they were actually talking. It's all pretty amazing considering the movie was released in 1998 when CGI tech was still in its early stages. Number 4. Murphy rarely rehearsed with animals. How crazy is it that Eddie Murphy filmed so many scenes without any animals on set? That's right, he performed his parts completely solo, pretending that the animals were right there next to him. Instead of a furry co-star hitting their lines, Murphy had to react to cues or even just a placeholder sound. There were no barking or meows or fun animal antics to work with. But here's the wild part. All the animal shots you see with their perfect little mouth movements were added in later with editing and digital magic. Murphy had to use his imagination, trusting comedic timing in order to make everything feel real. No rehearsals with the actual animals, just him being pure talent and a whole lot of faith in the team behind the camera. Number 3. Veterinary consultants were on set daily. Aside from all the comedy and creativity, there's something amazing you may not know about this movie. Every single day, trained animal welfare experts and veterinary consultants were on set to keep every animal safe and healthy. From the dogs to the birds and more, just imagine all the chaos. Bright lights, loud equipment, tricky setups, they could all easily stress an animal out. But don't worry, the animal handlers and the vets were always watching. They made sure that every little creature was treated gently, stayed calm, and never got injured. But here's the crazy part. Hollywood productions like this don't mess around. They even brought in special no animals were harmed reps to oversee everything. These experts made sure the animals rested when they needed and got medical attention right away if anything were to go wrong. Number 2. Lucky the dog was a shelter rescue trained long before filming. It may be hard to believe, but the dog who plays Dolittle's loyal sidekick wasn't always a Hollywood star. He began as another rescue pup at the East Valley Shelter in Los Angeles. Lucky was a shelter dog who had no training or fancy background. He was just waiting for a home. And then came a twist that nobody expected. Trainers discovered Lucky and immediately noticed something special. They saw his calm personality, sharp intelligence, and ability to pick up new skills quickly. From that moment on, his life would change, and he went through special training to learn how to follow hand signals, respond to voice commands, and even act for the camera. He mastered small but important movements and expressions that were later combined with voiceover and special effects to bring his character to life. Amazingly, Lucky stayed calm and focused, even on the busy and chaotic set with all the bright lights, cameras, and people all over the place.
Let it out. Go ahead. You know it. I know it.
I love you.
You love me? Oh, I'm gonna need another tissue.
Number 1. Animals were filmed alone against blue screens to avoid predator-prey risk. Because there were so many different animals, things could have gotten wild. That would have happened if they'd paired a predator and prey on the same set. It would have been chaos. To avoid any real-life drama, filmmakers came up with a genius plan. They had filmed the animals separately on a blue screen. When it looked like a majestic owl was hanging out near tiny rabbits or birds, they were actually never together. The owl had its own solo moment, completely safe and calm, and then through movie magic, editing brought them all together as though they were sharing the same space. Trainers and the American Humane Society made sure that safety was top priority, and the animals got to stay stress-free, and the audience got to see thrilling scenes without realizing the animals' paths had never crossed in real life. Now be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe so that you know when we upload another great video like this. Got any recommendations? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.